What's going on, y'all? Ellis Williams here, back in the lab for another video breakdown. This time on lessons learned from rewatching the Browns offense versus the Kansas City Chiefs defense back in January during the AFC divisional playoff game. The big takeaway I want y'all to come away with this is the Browns wasted a lot of plays early on. And against a team like the Chiefs, wasted opportunity is going to set you up for harder execution towards the end of the game, and that's what ended up happening. The Browns did play this team close, but with Patrick Mahomes missing the final 23 minutes, they were in a situation where the Chiefs' offense got a lot less explosive. They didn't score in the fourth quarter, and you have to go into this next game expecting Patrick Mahomes to play the entire game. Meaning, how can the Browns make up for their first half mistakes and play more like they did in the second half for the full 30 minutes? That's what I want to talk about today. A few points of emphasis. I want you guys to focus on the Browns' lack of multiplicity. They played a very distinct and singular style of receiving group by situation. They only had Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Jarvis Landry available to them for the most part. Terrell Hodge played about 8 snaps, but wasn't himself as he was still trying to get back in the lineup and whatnot. So that's where things start. I think the Browns have a chance to be much more multiple in their personnel groupings, pairing Odell Beckham Jr. with Anthony Schwartz and Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then perhaps throwing Jarvis Landry out there with Demetric Felton and Rashard Higgins. They have a chance to throw a lot of different combinations at the Chiefs. Will they do it? That remains to be seen, but I think it would be advantageous. So let's start there with why they must be multiple. A huge issue in this game was the press man coverage on the outside and really across the board from the Chiefs simply not respecting the Browns' deep ball. And that's what you see here. This is just them taking away play action, understanding a deep cross is coming here. They drop the 2-man, and then you have press on the outside. Look at that. Not worried about getting beat deep. There's no help here. There's very little help here. Eyes to the middle of the field, eyes to the middle of the field. They know they're looking for that crosser, that shot. DPJ not separating. Higgins up there being bottled up. That can't happen on Sunday. Odell Beckham Jr. changes that. Anthony Schwartz changes that. Too often were these wasted plays, throwaways. You saw Baker Mayfield backpedaling, just throwing it out of bounds. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, when Patrick Mahomes was playing, always had an outlet, always had a quick hitch to the outside, always had a check down, had Travis Kelce going across the middle. This is the difference between execution and wasted plays that then result in you being behind the chains. And if you read the copy, you know that the Browns were behind the chains 8 times out of their 21st plays, and then 4 times on 9 plays, even on their third drive, despite that ending in a near touchdown by Rashard Higgins. You can't get behind the chains. This was a big reason why they did. Wasted plays, not being explosive. They have a chance to change that with personnel. More ways they're wasting plays. Some of y'all might not like to hear this, but I don't think the Browns should throw towards Nick Chubb in this game. They have too many other options, and the Chiefs are expecting it. This one came on a first down play in the second quarter. These are back-to-back plays I'm about to show you. This is the speed out by Nick Chubb. The Browns are in 11 personnel, 5 wide, allowing Baker Mayfield to break down the coverage and have an easy, distinguished throw. And here's just a little exchange on the bottom of the screen. And that's a pitch and catch that ends up in a drop by Nick Chubb. He probably breaks his tackle and gains some. And you can see the Browns are already behind the chains after a holding call. Now it's going to be 2nd and 20. And the Browns go back to Nick Chubb for a screen here. Again, I think that they need to throw screens to players who the Chiefs aren't expecting. Even then, if he catches it, Chris Jones may grab him, and you see the pursuit already there. Mix up your screen game. You have options of throwing to Kareem Hunt, of throwing to Demetric Felton, of throwing to David Njoku. David Njoku had the most explosive play in this game, a 27-yard screen on the second offensive play for the Browns. Keep Nick Chubb out of the passing game, get him his 15 carries. If he catches a few checkdowns just in the flow of the offense, that's fine. Nick Chubb can catch the football. I just saw too many wasted opportunities when he was the primary target or when a play was specifically called for 24. This last thing I want to get to is that I'm worried that the fullback, Andy Janovich, doesn't have a spot in this game plan. Every time the Chiefs saw him on the field, they knew it was coming. It was either run towards him, or if he was in on a passing play, a play action situation, they knew the ball wasn't going to him. It gives them one less player Chiefs must account for, which is why I think Kevin Stefanski would be wise to remove the fullback from the game plan. And here you see why. The Browns are going to run a crackback, pitch right, pulling Conklin as a leader. You have Andy Janovich also lead blocking, and you have Nick Chubb on the outside. But this is just a blown block by Janovich. Here he comes on the outside. Here comes Tyrann Mathieu to secure the edge. Janovich completely whiffs on the block because you have a faster, more athletic safety coming downhill who's stout and makes the tackle. It's a heck of a play, but that's why the Browns must avoid putting Andy Janovich in any situation where he has to take on Tyrann Mathieu or other Chiefs quick twitch safeties, which means he just comes off the field. So that was a quick video breakdown of how I think the lessons that the Browns have learned, hopefully, from studying this tape. Be multiple, be versatile in your personnel. Don't allow this press coverage. They can't guard Odell Beckham Jr. like this. They can't guard Anthony Schwartz like this. Don't let them. Avoid Nick Chubb in the passing game. They've got better options and more sure things in the passing game from their running backs than Nick Chubb right now. And then take fullback off the field. I think those are 3 simple keys that can really help the Browns not blow opportunities, avoid being behind the sticks. In their touchdown drives, the Browns, on their 5th drive, it was their first TD. They had 8 plays, 77 yards. 0 times they were second and long or more. On their 6th drive, their best drive, it went 18 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Again, they hit second and long 0 times. It's a key to the game. Avoid second and long. Avoid being behind the sticks, and the Browns are going to be in this game till the end. Don't waste those opportunities. Don't waste those plays. And I think I just laid that out for y'all. So thanks for stopping by the lab. We're going to have more Browns Chiefs pregame coverage for y'all. I'll have a written piece on how they can win that will go into this in more detail, including some other things I learned that I didn't include in this one. So check back soon. And as always, thanks for dropping into the lab.